Trigger warnings for episode 12 include PTSD, memory loss, mycophobia, descriptions of fantasy violence, death, decay, and minor descriptions of bodily harm. A list of the topics, themes, and subject matter featured in this episode can be found in the description. We return to the last Arcanist as we find Cordy walking alongside this tall individual. They stand Cordy's pretty tall, but they have another, I would say, 2.5 feet on you as they navigate through this space. You see next to them is this large dire wolf. Its fur, more magnificent than it was before, touches of dark purples. It almost looks like it has at the tips of the fur, it almost appears gold, and as the wind hits it, it appears as if you can see like constellations on this dire wolf's fur. And as Orinthus releases their hand from Cordy's forehead, seeing this vision of Fiora in this place that is much different than the one you are in currently. This figure, this clank, Atreyu, stepping through the mycelial gate and then closing afterwards. What is Cordy's reaction after seeing all of this in this moment as Orinthus releases their hand from his forehead?
Cordy kind of comes out of the vision and is like, and I think we see him immediately bend down to the ground, put his hands in the dirt with force, and he's going to try to make a fungal connection with Fiora, no matter how far away. I don't know if she's now become part of the web or what, but I think I have to roll to see if it happens, and I feel like it's going to be harder because she's nowhere near here.
Okay,
but
yep, go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah,
I agree. So I think I'm
girl.
gonna set a pretty high DC for this because of where. So DC 25 on this.
Ooh, god damn.
Are we near this at this moment?
No, you're not. Yeah.
I think I was on my way to Cordy, but even then, can't help.
All right, here we go. Okay. No, that ain't gonna happen. No.
What'd you
That's
get?
An 8
What'd you
and
roll?
A 4 and a 1. Well, the 1 is from my modifier, but yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Hope or
That's a
fear?
13. Totally fear. It's fear. Totally.
Perfect.
But he puts his hands into the dirt and he just looks like, Sporekeeper. Please tell me you can hear me.
Your Sporekeeper. Oh, Cordelius. So sad.
You piece of garbage, I swear.
You should get better at what you do. Can't
I'll
even
sever that
stretch out.
connection. I'm not even going to give him the time of day.
Oh,
Orinthus
I think
looks at you.
I stand up, fingers dirty. Sorry. We should find my friends.
All right. Yes, of course. Please. And they would motion forward with you. And I think as you turn and kind of start moving in that direction, we'd see Róisín approaching this area. And I think you would see the hairs on the back of this direwolf go up and a low growl as Róisín approaches, and we would see Arinthus displace their hand on the top of the direwolf's head. It's all right.
Cordy's
Nix.
like, hey now, that one's with me, so...
I think there's just a flurry of sort of flowers and feathers as Róisín pops out of invisibility and interposes himself between Cordy and the others and just looks at them, every feather standing up, every fang and fingernail sharpened to a point, as he looks Arinthus in the eye and says, "Step away from him, you onerous wretch of a creature, before I rip out your throat and stain the ground with your lively life fluids."
No. Big misunderstanding. Róisín, stand down. We're good. We're all good.
Cordy is such a mood.
Are you sure, Fidelis? You haven't been charmed, have you?
No,
You're with this
not at all.
thing, as
Whoa.
Arinthus looks at
Whoa.
Róisín.
I think Cordy's like, whoa.
Catch yourself on now, look at the state of you.
Hold on.
I am in perfectly
all,
good shape, thank you very much.
Let's bring it
And I am
down,
perfection.
everyone. Oh,
You are
man.
Elanor she. You're kind. Used to be loving. And now they just walk these lands, drinking the vitae of all that are living. So
feel
excuse
like
me for
I'm
being a little angry.
Missing something. We're good. Everything's chill. We're fine, right? Right?
Tell me no lies, I say as I will use my ability to invoke the truth from them.
Okay. The spellcasting roll?
Yep. And
Sweet. Let me
yeah,
know
I'm
if
going
it's
to
appropriate here.
spend experience and use Terrible Beauty on this.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I can also, because I keep forgetting that I could do this. I have Heart of a Poet, so after you make someone, if I make an action roll to impress, persuade, or offend someone, I can spend a hope to add a d4 to it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. That's a great
Because I'm
little
a
feature.
bard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use my hope for that instead. When I do a d4? You see, add a d4. Oh, it's a 4. Nice. It's 8, 12, plus 3, 15. And I needed to... Yeah, spellcast roll against the target, so that'll be a 15 on them.
With hope or fear?
Oh, that is with fear. Of course
I'm
it
going to
is.
take my fear. I'm going to say, as you cast the spell, what does this look like again? I know you've described it in the past, but remind me what your Tell No Lies looks like as it is cast.
In this case, there's the flicker of something beautiful and eldritchly terrible just lurking beneath Róisín's flesh that almost begins to sort of bloom out of him as he makes eye contact with Oneris, or Arinthus.
I think as this beast within shows itself, there's a moment where you feel as it interacts with the twilight in this moment, in the world that it is, the way it is in this at this time. There's a moment, Róisín, where you feel like your very being is going to be pulled from you. You are going to lose yourself. But you're able to hold it together. You do take a stress in this moment, that roll with fear. But what question would you like, or what would you like to speak to this ask Arinthus, as you have successfully casted Tell No Lies?
What do you know of the rest of my kin? What has transpired with them in these years that I have been asleep?
There are only stories I have heard of most of your kin. It's very hard for him to say kin, but he holds it together because he wanted to say something else. But he would say, there is one that lives on the outskirts of the Whispering Woods in the region of Viansola that occupies the Onyx Citadel and simply captures those just looking for a place to lay their head. They are brought to the Citadel and she drinks of their vitae so she may maintain herself Queen Kath. Or Ka, Queen Ka, he says. A relative of yours?
Indeed. I'm quite happy. And saddened. And quite a bit of feelings. Too many to make clear. Róisín just takes a deep breath, pushes back his hair for a second, and as he does so, every feature softens back to normal. Well, it appears as though we've begun on the wrong foot, and sorry, that is truly my fault in this matter. Still, hopefully we can come to a wee bit of an arrangement, given all that you seem to have done to the rest of my compatriots.
I apologize for the experience those that were here. I apologize for the afflictions.
Not their fault, though, I must say. It was not their fault.
Your friend Cordelius helped free me from this fungal prison I was in. It was drawing life from me. It was years of suffering. 50.
You know, you're lucky that I came along, right guy for the job, I guess. You know.
Well, of course, my Cordelius helped. Cordy is the most brilliant person in all of Atalantia.
Oh,
Róisín will say, as he just sort of leans over and gives Cordy a wee kiss on the forehead.
Well, thank you.
Still, I do feel as though I'm owed a wee bit of compensation for what was thrust upon me.
Compensation, you say?
Yes. A very serious matter, if I may make a request.
And what is that?
I want to pet your dog.
That gets a smile out of Arinthus as he looks towards Nyx and gives her a pet on the head. And he says, "It's all right." And she walks over and sitting on her, when she sits on her haunches, she, even with you flying, she's probably like at your chest. She's a big girl. Like she's, yeah, like a Clydesdale.
Róisín just gets on the ground, wraps his arms around her chest as much as he can, and then just collapses on the ground and submerges himself in all the floof.
Yeah, she's a floofy girl.
Just disappears under all of it except for like an errant rain popping out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And she gets a little playful. She starts to, like, after you like kind of pet her, she starts doing little play bows. And you get to see a smile out of Arinthus, and he would look towards Róisín and say, "May I apologize for my outburst. A lot has happened, as you can imagine."
I'm sure I think we're going through a wee bit of a rough time, the both of us.
I suppose. But luckily we have, and he would look over, people like Cordy who can break us out of those. But let us go find your other companions, and I can send give my apologies to them. If you think that would suffice, or I can just leave if you want.
Oh, no, please. You should come. You should come with us, please.
An apology never killed anyone.
Very well. And he would, Nyx would run over next to him, and yeah, he would continue to walk with you over to the rest of the group. With that said, we're going to jump back over to the rest of the party. Doc and Hugo are heading back, but I'm going to give Elanor and Thessalus a moment here as we find ourselves kind of seeing the two of you. What I'm assuming, Elanor still her arms around Thessalus in this moment. What do we see there? Is there anything more than that in the sense of just comforting, or what do we see as we kind of fade in on the two of you in this moment?
I don't think Elanor moves an inch until Thessalus opens his eyes properly. Like, her forehead is still pressed against his face. Like, she is clinging to him very delicately and very comforting, just kind of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost protective in a sense too, like that if someone were to come near, she would bite them like a rabid dog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think with kind of the release of Arinthus and kind of the end of the kind of that control or power or whatever that was kind of giving these nightmares, I think Thessalus kind of relaxed a bit as he kind of took that breath in before, and has, I guess, is he still slumbered for now? Or would that have dropped at some point?
I believe with it being, I don't think it ends until Hugo says it's over. I can end it.
You can end it, yeah. So the GM spends a fear on their turn to clear this condition. But I feel like, considering that like Hugo is also away and like in a way not concentrating on that, it's not like an active thing that they're doing. I think they would have woke him up.
Yeah. I think as that nightmare kind of being in the water and drowning kind of leaves him in kind of his mind, I think part of him kind of moves back through the layers of what he was in and returns for a moment to the pits of Kaliavin and kind of the end of that fight with the wolves, as he feels kind of the wetness of the tears on his face, both his own and Eleanor's, and is kind of standing there surrounded by the dead wolves covered in their blood, and feels this moment of calm as he also begins to pass out kind of in this kind of dream state from his own blood loss. And as he kind of loses consciousness there, it's as he's coming back in kind of the real world. I think he starts slightly, but pretty quickly realizes a few things. That his face is wet, that he's held in some form, and that his helmet is off. So I think there's a few moments in which his eyes are still closed, but he's noticeably no longer unconscious. As he kind of lays almost the same as Elanor, kind of waiting for something to happen and kind of to trying to get his senses to explain to him what's happening around him.
Are the others coming towards us, or are they going to help Róisín find Cordy?
We were coming back to where we had separated from.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think Elanor kind of lets it continue. Because there isn't really much that she can say, if literally anything at all, unless, he opens his eyes. And so I think she might pull her forehead away just slightly, but still kind of very hovering, very comforting in how she's holding him. And then I think as like a twig snaps and she realizes that the others are coming back and that they're kind of closer, she's just very gently gonna put his helmet back on for him.
I think as she backs up and kind of moves to replace the helmet, as it's kind of moving over his face, his eyes will open and he's looking kind of directly into hers as the helmet goes over his face. And I think as his eyes open and as people are kind of moving in, as kind of the literal almost wall is kind of placed over this connection, I think he'll kind of gently move to not quite, maybe not standing, but kind of sitting up, but won't move very far away. We'll just say, thank you.
She's not going to respond in any capacity, I don't think. I think even as he moves to sit up, she still has a hand on his arm, kind of just as a reassurance for herself and maybe even for him, they're back from their nightmares, but also in you're not gonna get harmed again. If she keeps him within an arm's reach, she can't fail to protect him like she did last time when Róisín tried to feed. And so if she keeps this physical connection with him, and if something else were to happen, she can then be there this time because she feels that she failed. And I think she kind of stares at him as the others finally make their presence known and they're reunited once again.
So I think as the two of you are there, Doc and Hugo, as you're walking back, is there anything else between the two of you before you reach the rest of the group? Or is it simply walking in silence until you reach the others?
I think Doc will look up at Hugo and go, so how bad is it?
I'm not entirely sure. No one is bleeding anymore. It was just Tegwin who was bleeding. But I think the worst part of it all was it almost seemed like our companions were not themselves. Like the mind was being manipulated into acting, unlike the people that we've come to know. Or maybe,
Are they?
I don't know.
Are they still like this?
I don't know. But I'm concerned that concerned that it wasn't so much them acting unlike the people that we know, and more so acting like who they truly are.
I think Doc doesn't know what to say to that. But definitely like sort of nods at hearing that thought. And I don't know if there's anything else that Doc has to say in this moment, unless you have anything else.
Okay. All right. So I would say by that time, the two of you arrive back. You would see Elanor and Thessalus. They're together. Thessalus' helmet back on. You would see, I think, leaning up against a tree would be Tegwin. And I think based on the timing, we would hear the footsteps of 4 more figures approaching. No, 3, because one of you would probably be flying, I'm assuming.
If not,
Or would
riding
Róisín-
on the wolf.
Riding on the wolf. Okay,
That's
sweet.
Yes. I'm getting as many kills in as I can.
Uh-huh. So as you all find yourselves in this location here, Hugo, Doc, Elanor, Thessalus, Tegwin would see Róisín, Cordy returning with this Clydesdale-size dire wolf with dark purple fur and like tips of gold on it, on certain parts of its body, and this tall, almost. I know there's not really like fae necessarily within, but definitely a kind of fae-like being, elven somewhat in their appearance here, but taller than Cordy and Róisín, standing there with some fungal growth on them at this point. So, and same with the wolf, the dire wolf, Elanor.
So having grown up in the Whispering Woods, would I know who this individual is?
I think roll a pure luck check for me. Let's roll just a d12 on we'll say on a 6 or higher. You would know
Okay.
Orinthus,
Actually
or
rolls
have
higher.
perhaps run into them.
That is a 6 exactly.
Cool. Yes, you would know. You would know of Orinthus. Perhaps met them in one occasion during probably the earlier years of your life, even. They don't
was a
necessarily
wee
just
baby.
stay within the Whispering Woods. They have been known to wander themselves to the Iona Forest as well, the groves there. So yeah, you would know who Orinthus is as they approach.
And
Hello,
I would know
everyone.
I would know what Orinthus can do, right?
You would know what Orinthus can do.
Okay.
It's certainly different than what they did to everyone, but
Right.
you would know what they're capable of, I would say. As you see Orinthus, that memory would snap back into Eleanor's head.
Okay. I think as they appear, the 4 of them, Elanor will stand up and casually position herself between the 4 of them and Thessalus.
Cordy and I made a new friend, and they have a pet
Hello.
wolf.
Yes, so, you all have been through some shit. But all good now, hopefully. We have a bit to discuss.
Who are your friends?
I'm Orinthus, the Dreamweaver. Spirit of this forest, a guardian of sorts. This is my friend, and he looks to the direwolf. This is Nyx. I'm sorry about what some of you experienced. Please know that was not my intention.
You're the one who did all of the...
Yes. It was me.
Can you do it
They're
again?
very apologetic. Oh,
I could certainly try. Are you seeking?
Yes.
Okay. Arinthus would walk towards Doc, striding towards them, an elegance to their step, and they would stop in front of you, standing much taller, and I'm going to do something unique here.
Okay.
Arinthus would say, I have your permission to do this, correct? As you had
Yes.
just said. All right. And he will reach out and place their hand upon your forehead, right underneath where the cap would be. And well, you can't normally feel things. You feel a warmth, like a warm hug. And I think what you see in this moment is a small little apothecary. You see this young girl standing there with a mortar and pestle, grabbing little vials off the counter as she stands on a stool, looking at a little piece of parchment paper with the notes scribbled on it. And we see her mixing things. We hear a door open that comes into this apothecary, and we see a grander view of it as we kind of push out. It's a small little shop, but lining the walls are various herbs, medicinal vegetation that has been collected over time, some of it dried, some of it fresh, some of it sitting in different types of fluids. We see this other figure walk in, this man in his a middle-aged man, and he smiles over towards the little girl that's mixing all the stuff, breaking it down, and he walks over, places his hand on their shoulder, and he says, "How's it going, Yara? You mixing everything correctly?"
You want me to respond?
I want you to respond.
I'm trying. I'm following everything to exactly like you wrote it down.
Okay. So there is. My handwriting's really bad. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay.
And he goes and he takes out a piece of paper and he writes down a few things. There's a couple other herbs and he grabs them from the top shelf and puts them down next to you. He says, "You'll need a pinch of this particular herb here, and then a little bit of you'll need." And he pours out a little bit of like sunflower seeds, and he says, "These just add a little bit of salt to them, but they work really well when we don't have any salt here. So that's what I use sometimes. Just some of these salted sunflower seeds that I had stored away. Just grind them down really good. They won't even know." And so he shows you these things, and you would hear the sound of footsteps approaching as we see two other young girls, a little older than this, the one that's helping the man here. and he puts his hand on both their heads, gives them a little scruffle. He says, Kamara, Zuri. So, I need you both to help me and Yara out, okay? So, I need you to head over to Melison's. Her daughter is a little sick. So, we need to first let Melisant know that we're bringing over the solution that we're working on, and then can you head over to Jabari's and see if he can help me go into the woods later to collect some more of that special root. All right, and both the girls, they're like, why can't Yara do it? And then they start kind of arguing a little bit in that moment.
Yara goes,
says,
I can do it.
They're like, of course you can. You volunteer for everything, and then they're like, "We'll do it." And
well, you didn't want to do it.
Whatever. And you see they run out, going in different directions. And he says, "Your sisters sometime." And he says, but he leans up next to it, has his arms crossed, and he says, "So, you're getting much better at mixing your ingredients, and you should, next time I go out on a trip, Yara, maybe you can come along. Would you be open to that?"
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think you're ready. As long as you can handle walking through the forest and, climbing up the mountains to the villages up there and the Gloom Peaks.
I can handle it. I'm pretty good.
All right. And I think he pulls her in and gives her a little hug.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, all right, I have a few things I need to do out back, but if you need anything, just let me know, all right?
Okay. Thank you.
And he leans down and just gives her a little kiss on top of the forehead, and he says, thanks my little firefly. And he walks out back.
She yells out, I love you, Dad.
He says, love you too. And we see the door close into the back office, and that's when you come back to that moment in the Whispering Woods.
I think immediately Doc just hugs what's the character's name again?
Orinthus?
Orinthus immediately gives Orinthus a hug.
He just puts his arms around you and just holds you. Just dong, 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 as he gives you little pats.
They look up to Orinthus and says, thank you so much.
Of course. And he steps back and he looks at everyone else. Hello. I don't think I got everyone's name here. All right.
Well, come on, my friends. Don't be rude.
Also, Orinthus is feeling very sorry and very charitable, so if you wanted to ask for a boon, now would be a good time.
I think
he isn't the one I want an apology from.
Oh, dear.
Is this what you were talking about earlier, Hugo?
No. This is pretty much how Elanor acts most of the time.
That's not untrue. That's fair.
Yes.
Well, if you don't use your words and tell us who exactly you want an apology from.
Look, speaking from the perspective of someone who, apologies, saw all of that. Everyone involved was a bit manipulated, predisposed. So I believe that we were all a bit out of our element
Is that not why it's only appropriate to hear the apology from
Oh, of
Orinthus
course.
themselves, as opposed to hearing it from both you and Róisín?
Of course. I mean, I believe they did mention an apology before, but Orinthus, it seems we may need a bit more from you there in that department. So,
Of course. He would walk over to. I mean, he would attempt to walk over to Thessalus and Elanor.
Eleanor's gonna put one of her hands on her short swords.
I guess all moves to do kind of the same.
well, now, hello. We're just talking.
I think as you both reach for your weapons, as Orinthus looms over you, you would see a bit of Dwemer swirl around him. And as it does, he shrinks down to be at the same height as you.
Which one of us?
Yes, Hugo.
I have a quick thing. I just want to make sure. Does Elanor think of Orinthus as dangerous because of her knowledge of Orinthus prior, or because of what
No.
happened right now?
It's more sorry, I was waiting for that to happen. I could feel it coming up. It's more like what she saw has her on edge, not just what she saw in her head.
Mhm.
What she saw transpire between Thessalus and Róisín on top of that has her on edge. In her head, she has already forgiven Orinthus. It's like, yeah, like, you're good. Things have been manipulated. She wants an explanation from Róisín at this point. And so it's not like she's making a move because she thinks Orinthus is going to be, it's more of like an impulse almost. Like, Thessalus is down. I'm used to protecting people. Someone who I've maybe met once in my entire life when I was a child made me see a very bad person. And then I saw two of my friends almost go at each other. And I saw one of them become this weird thing that I had never seen them become in ever. And I don't know, I don't have a name for it. So it's like all of these weird, scary things. And then somebody moves towards you. It's like a frightened animal, again, to use the same analogy, a frightened animal going to bite because it's scared.
I think as he kind of shrinks down.
Again, to whose height?
He shrinks
One
down.
of us
I
is
would say he
taller
shrinks
to the
down.
other.
He shrinks down to Eleanor's height.
Okay.
And he would take a step back, though, seeing your nervousness. And he would say to her, I remember the day we met. You... Thinking back when you were probably maybe 12, 13, I can't remember. Your father was there with you. I'm sorry for making you see what you saw. There was something else that was pulling at parts of me, using me like a puppet, my power against any of those that step foot into these woods. And I am so sorry that a place that was your home brought you pain, fear, please know I am sorry for that. And he would step back further.
Elanor will actually look to Doc instead, and kind of slowly, to make sure that Doc understands, will sign. What did you just see?
I think Doc will sign back my name.
She'll look back to Orinthus then, and hoping that Orinthus knows how to sign.
You can go ahead, yeah. He's old. He knows how to sign.
He's old.
All old people know
He's been
how
around
to
for a
sign.
long
You heard
time.
it here first, folks.
He knows many languages.
If
Ooh,
you're
finally
old,
someone older than me.
if you're
Love
old and
that
can't
for him.
sign, then what are you doing?
Yeah, get with the times, man.
Literally. I think she'll look back to Orinthus then, and just so that way the two of them, maybe even Thessalus could see, will ask, What good things do you have for me then?
Ooh.
And if I may, I believe you owe my companion a bit more than you owe me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think in that moment, as you say this to them, have you seen your family? He would sign this back to you. Would you like to see them?
No. I don't think I'm their daughter anymore, so I don't think it's good that I do.
I think you do deserve to see them. But I understand and I will respect that.
Thank you. I'm sorry. It's a very kind thing that you have offered, but I don't think that I can right now.
All right. Well, I think he takes a deep breath and he says, if you change your mind, I'll be glad to help. And he would sign that back to her.
She'll go ahead and she'll kind of like glance back to Thessalus to kind of just like indicate like, yeah, it's good, we're fine, we're safe, it's chill.
I found Orinthus in a bit of a compromising position. It seemed as though he was attached to a growth, eating away at their essence. I convinced them to expand their domain, and all should be well. But there is news I feel is pertinent. I have also seen things. There is someone coming to look for us. I've seen my assistant. She survives. I've seen the faraway. It exists. And it's beautiful. She sent someone. She continued my work. And they are coming. I do not know when they will find us. But they are coming. And if they've sent someone here, then... And I think you just see the wheels turn in Cordy's head.
Tegwin would, hearing you mention the faraway, when did this, Cordy, when did this, was it just one person? Was there more people there? Who was it just Fiora?
There was Fiora and one other. I did not catch a name.
Did you see anything? Did you see anyone else?
I'll describe to the best of my ability the person that was with Fiora.
Yeah. I think as you describe that person, she's with a good person. I think she's... Yeah. She's with Moxie.
Moxie?
It's good.
You
Yes.
know that?
A friend. A friend from a long time ago. Incredibly talented. She'll be safe with her.
Good. I mean, not that I worried, honestly. The place where they were, it looked safe. All of it.
Good. It was always the hope. There's always the hope.
I don't know if what I saw was, current, and I looked to Orinthus, or happened time ago.
Sometimes it's, sometimes the visions I show can be from the past. Sometimes they can be moments ago. That is hard for me to be able to exactly pinpoint.
How do we know they're even true?
Huh.
They are.
Well, I believe him. So. So unless you trust me, right? And if I trust them, then by the transitive, property.
I hardly know you,
Oh.
If
and it seems you've taken the side of this person quite fast.
it helps,
Well, I trust you, so.
what I saw earlier was true. And it happened. And it is true, I did meet this individual when I was a child.
I just feel that lies often twist the truth. They might know things about us, and use that against us.
Well, most of us, Faye, don't really enjoy lying. The truth is much easier to work with.
Perhaps that's more dangerous. What you said, Cordy, that sounds like hope. It sounds like something to hope for. There's not a lot of that left.
So we should cling on to it, not push it away.
Could make us foolish.
Are we not hope for others?
I still don't know whether to think we're here for a reason or not.
I understand your trepidation, Thessalus, but I choose hope. And for the record, I trust you. And I think Cordy will kind of, go and sit somewhere.
Okay. Plenty of spots. There's roots that are
It's a
jutting
big
up
wood.
out of the ground. Yeah.
It's a lot of
There's
like
also
trees.
a lovely wolf you can come sit on.
I
It'll
think
come of no surprise that I also agree with Cordelius in this matter. Take it from me, the cynics don't survive the centuries. And I am much too old for cynicism.
I was never really looking for centuries.
And you should expand your horizons. Who knows what you could accomplish? Still, for what it's worth, I feel as though I do owe you a wee bit of an apology. I tried to pull you out, but only fell deeper instead. And within that, my worst impulses were leveraged against me, and worst against you. And for that, I'm sorry.
Right. It seems there's more to what happened than I thought. We all saw things, right?
No.
Correct? Well, no, Hugo was amazing and avoided everything and took care of everyone. Very good job, Hugo, by the way.
You didn't see anything, Hugo?
Aside from all of you completely losing yourselves.
Still, you were very impressive, Hugo.
Róisín, can I have a word in private?
Of course. Oh,
Ooh,
do you want
Róisín
that
is in trouble.
now or later or
I think by that tone, Hugo definitely means now.
Hugo turns around and walks.
so that is a now. Oh, well, my apologies. I'll have to go see to this, and I'll go wander off.
Eleanor's gonna turn to Doc and go, Hugo was a lot nicer about it than I was going to be fair.
That was nice.
Well, no, but considering who you're speaking to, yes?
That's fair. At least, I guess, we can't hear tone, though you do sign furiously at some times.
We know you're mad
It's
because
all on
none
the
of us
face.
understand what you're saying. It's like that one TikTok. It's like, yeah, I think I'm doing a really good job of like not showing that I hate this person in this conversation, and then it's just Elanor like,
You can glare a lot harder when you don't have to speak.
yeah.
Okay. So Róisín, you follow Hugo off a little bit into the woods. Okay. All right.
I think Hugo walks off far enough that they definitely have privacy in a conversation, but not so far that like they can't see maybe like the silhouette of their friends through like the brush. Just to make sure that there is at least something to anchor onto. And they just like stand and wait for Róisín to appear.
Stealing me away for yourself, Master Husk?
Róisín, what do you need?
It's been a wee bit since I was fed. I was meaning to take care of it earlier in the day, but then everything happened on our travels and all of this happened, and poor timing on all parts, all things considered. Honestly, I was hoping for your first time we would be able to make things a wee bit more comfortable, and you seemed still a wee bit trepidatious about the whole affair, but...
Róisín, when I agreed to this, maybe I'm a fool for believing it was going to be simple, easy, just something that I needed to give you whatever words you needed to make yourself feel better. Because, oh, here you are, inspiring someone to make themselves feel better about themselves. Great, you're achieving your purpose. Maybe a part of me didn't really know that you actually need blood. Feed. For some reason, a very foolish part of me had thought that all of those myths and stories about the Lenonshis had been completely subverted by the fact that I had met someone that was a Lenonshi, and I haven't seen them at once feeding. So I thought to myself, maybe things are different. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's something else. He's going on and prattling on about how he lives to inspire, and as Hugo is doing all of this, as he was just crashing out about this, they had grabbed their just a small sharp object as they are starting to rip open one of their seams. And they're just talking and just like as they're like doing this. So no, I'm sorry. What do you mean you were hoping for this to be comfortable? I told you I did whatever it is that you do with your lovers. I didn't see myself as a lover. And once again, I don't think you understand that the way that I understand what the word lover is the same thing, the same way that you understand what the word lover is. And do you need to feed?
I do, although I will remind you, Hugo, that in the terms of our agreement, me feeding on you was a boon to you. My request in our exchange was for you to be kind to yourself. Yours was to be fed upon, so that you may feel once again, or so we hope. This is as much a favor to you as it is for me. These were equal terms that we agreed to.
Or maybe I understood them incorrectly. And that is a fault completely onto my own.
And Hugo is going to dig into the hay and pull out and essentially just urge out some of the mushrooms. And without thinking twice about it, they are going to slice off a piece of themselves.
Can Róisín interject? Because if I can, I'm going to. I'm going to grab the arm before Hugo can rend into their own flesh. Come now, Hugo, you are far too clever a person to have any fault such as that.
If you feed on something, this won't happen.
I do intend to feed on you. I just wanted to make sure you are in the correct mindset for such a thing.
Are you in the correct mindset to continue without at least having something?
I do wish to feed on you today, and if not now, while we can, I want this to be a gentle thing if I can. So please be gentle with yourself as well during this. And for what it's worth, I haven't changed since that day. Neither of us have changed since that day.
I'm not doing this for gentleness. I'm doing this for you. You want me to give you... You want me to give you my daily affirmation?
No, we went through that already.
Take this now, and this will be my daily affirmation.
May I ask, where do you feel comfortable being touched, Hugo?
I can't feel anything, Róisín.
In that case, thank you. You're welcome. And I'm sorry. As Róisín is going to lean in and kiss Hugo and feed. As there's a flash of pain and a surge of sensation that reawakens every long dead fiber in your broomstick spine. As if you could, Hugo, could you tell me a moment, not even necessarily romantically or platonically, just any sort of moment from your past where you felt either safe or loved or inspired?
Hugo remembers one fateful night before one fateful trip that led them to where they are now. As they are being spun in a circle in the middle of a dancing floor. And there is a beautiful dark-skinned woman, smiling, laughing, and a handsome, devilishly good-looking half-infernus man watching as the two of them danced. And it's Hugo's vision going back and forth between the two of them.
And for a moment, you can still feel the pounding of the music, beating in tune with the pounding of your heart. The rush of sensation still alive in your fungal flesh and burlap body. Well, that will suffice me for now. I'll be good for another few days or so, almost a week. How are you?
Hugo is hard pressed to admit that even in their broken mind and the memories that they have lost, they don't think they've ever been kissed before. And I think they're going to hold on to the idea that maybe it's just because they have no memory of it. But there is a truth in the fact that they have never been kissed before. Hugo takes a step back and looks at Róisín. This is not what I anticipated.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a confusing way?
Well, that's only natural when it comes to matters of the Fae. Just don't think, feel, ride the sensation, and I'm sure you'll come out to some sort of answer.
I think I need some time alone. Excuse me?
You may take your leave. With that, our deal is concluded.
And Hugo walks off.
I'll return to the others.
Okay. Hugo, I think we see this shot of the two of you going the separate ways in this moment.
Mm.
And as you two both lose, like we see you go off the side of this visual, we just see the Whispering Woods here. We still see little wisps out there. And we then find ourselves back with the rest of the group. In that moment, I think Arinthis looks towards Thessalus and would walk not towards them, but to stand in front of them, in front of him, and would say, "Would you like to see a happy memory?"
Part of me doubts that you have much to show me. I think I've had enough of your dreams.
Very well. You would see as you say that to him, he kind of flexes himself and the body elongates back to its normal height. And I think we see Arinthis walk over to Cordelius, or it's Cordy, who's sitting somewhere. And he kneels down next to Cordy. He says, "I wanted to thank you again, friend, for for helping me see there was another way. And for that, let me bestow upon you a boon.
Oh. There's always another way.
He reaches inside this cloak that he is wearing, and he pulls out this stone. It looks like there is a flame trapped within it. And he reaches for Cordy's hand, places the stone in it, and clasps Cordy's hand and says, "This is a cinder stone.
Okay.
It can be utilized to..." He stays very serious in this moment, despite Cordy. And he says, "This can be utilized to help aid you and your companions in a dire moment, when the odds may feel like they are stacked against you. And mechanically, what this is, it's a wild card. In this together, you can initiate a tag team roll without spending any hope and place this card back into your vault forever.
Oh, yo.
So he gives you that cinder stone. And he pats Cordy on the shoulder. And he says, "And the reason I know you, Cordelius, is when I was trapped inside that fungal prison, there was always a voice there taunting me. He spoke of you often, and how he hoped that someday he could show you that he was a much better wizard than you."
They're in the...
Yes.
He's so obsessed with me. It's quite pathetic.
He did talk about you a lot. But, Cordy, there was something else when I was letting myself go, letting myself become part of the web. I noticed it too when I was trapped. It wasn't always there. But there was something, rather, there were some things lurking in the web. Not always present, only in moments. Something malevolent, some type of creatures.
I
think
believe
there
they're
was-
of his making.
I recall 5 of them.
Oh, that's news to me. 5. I believe
Yes.
they are his doing. Now that you have joined us, and I think Cordy will flick one of the mushrooms on his shoulder.
Ow.
Perhaps you can use your power to ensure that his never encroaches upon this land.
I am certainly going to. And I hope that you and your companions are able to find those they seek or I'm sorry. For the longest time, I thought my end was here. But thanks to you, it is not. So, but I suppose there are things to do, and he would stand up.
Well, if there's one thing I can tell you, friend, it's that decay is not the end. You will need to learn this if you are to be part of this domain. No.
I suppose so. Well, I should probably take my leave soon. If you find yourselves heading north within the Vian Solar region, be careful of the tyrant queen that rules over the Onyx Citadel. She has 6 shape-shifting Tenebrus that are under her tutelage. So be cautious, rather.
I'm always curious.
Never cautious, though.
Oh, Doc, you're here. Oh, okay.
He smiles over at Doc, but I think Arinthus stands up and says, if there's nothing more you all need of me here, I have a lot of things I need to attend to.
I would actually like to steal you for a moment, if that's fine.
Of course. And he would, he'd get up from Cordy, pat him on the shoulder. Not the mushroom shoulder, but the other one. And, but actually, you know what? He'd flick one of your mushrooms off too. He says, how did that feel? Did it hurt?
Oh, no, it just happens all the time. It's fine.
Oh, so it's something I'll get used to? All right.
Yes, get used to it. It'll be all right.
All right. He stands up and he strides over to Elanor. Nyx next to him. And
I think Elanor would actually kind of like, as they come over, would kind of guide them into a much more secluded area.
Mm-hmm.
I think just also try to follow.
No. Sit. Stay.
Do you tell him that, or do you not say anything to him?
Oh, me? Do I know that Thessalus is trying? Like, is it obvious that Thessalus is trying to follow?
He's not being very sneaky about it. I think he's still in we're guarding each other mode, and so as she starts to walk away, I think he just tries to move with.
I think she'll just put out a hand, very Man of Steel-esque. Sorry. I think she'll just put out a hand, just kind of like it's fine. Like, I'm good.
Crazy reference.
Just get sucked up by a tornado.
No, get purposely died.
No! Elanor gets swept away.
In a tornado.
In a
And a completely preventable accident.
Yeah, with his super son.
I think with the hand, he'll stop following, and loud enough that both of them can hear. We'll just say, be cautious, Elanor. We don't know this person.
She kind of just gives like a nice little nod. And I think she actually smiles at him because it's nice that her buddy's back.
Thessalus found his tag one.
Yeah. Aww. Oh my god. Buddies who hate together stay together. Yeah. I'm getting those t-shirts.
Thessalus is a German Shepherd boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. But I think she just kind of like nods and smiles at Thessalus before kind of giving the three of them, because of Nick's distance from the others. And when it's just the three of them, she's going to reply, Did you see what all of us saw as it happened?
Yes. I see everything.
I have a couple of questions then, if that's fine.
Of course.
I'm trying this whole forgiveness thing, apparently. Is it reasonable for me to have my defenses up around Róisín after what occurred?
I gotta roll something for Orinthus right now. Because he has a very particular feeling towards Lenonchi right now.
That's
We don't even
I mean,
know
she doesn't know that.
She's
I know
so
that. She doesn't know
cute.
that.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Adorable.
I don't
I am
think
sweet and
Elanor was
harmless.
there when that's what was discovered that Róisín was.
Yeah.
I don't think Elanor was there for that.
We have such a sweet friendship now, in our office.
Yeah.
He let me pet their dog.
And don't worry,
buddies.
it was I rolled the dice to kind of just see how he was gonna to go about this. I think he would say, I think that it is never wrong to be cautious of people. However, I think it is important to, if there is something that if someone has done something that has made you uncomfortable or upset, I think have a conversation. Well, I was partially responsible for what occurred. There is still an aspect of, he's going to say it, there's an aspect of Róisín that could, if not maintained, could be worrisome. But I believe Róisín does have a good heart. But I think you should talk to him if you are concerned.
Do I need to protect him from himself?
With the world as it is, I think that might be a good idea.
And now to totally change subjects. The man I saw, I can't remember his name. Is he still alive?
Damon is his name. And he is still alive.
Oh, shout out. Okay.
People made deals with Ocularis, Elanor. They may not be who you thought they once were. Or perhaps a more twisted version of themselves.
I don't have any thought as to who he is. I just can't shake this feeling.
I'm sorry.
I have one more question, if that's okay.
Of course.
Can you see the day we all died?
it would be challenging to try and pull all of that in one moment.
I just need a singular moment.
Of course.
Thessalus and I were found nearby one another, not near the others.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't shake this feeling that I knew him.
Mm.
And I want to make sure that it's not in a bad way.
Would you like me to show you?
Yes, please.
He nods, and he says, "Give me a moment." He closes his eyes. You see Nyx walks up next to Elanor. She almost creates like a little dog sea around you as her fur starts to flare with radiant energy. And I think you feel the forest around you change ever so slightly. You find yourself in another place surrounded by trees. You hear the sound of swords clashing, arrows flying, people screaming, the sound of crushing happening all around you as heavy footfalls. You see things moving quickly through the air. These shadow-like creatures, ravenous like locusts, wanting to consume all Dwemer in this space, every living being. But then we focus in on two people. Back to back, together, as they are surrounded by a group of Tenebrous legionnaires pushing in on them. As they stand there, the odds of winning this fight impossible. They are impossible odds. We see these two figures, one with an arrow knocked in their bow, the other with a broadsword in their hand, a shield in the other. They fight in tandem, one by one, bringing down Tenebrous after Tenebrous. We watch as this creature runs towards Elanor. She draws an arrow, shoots it up, hits it, falls to the ground. Another one leaping from behind, about to strike her. We see Thessalus block it with his shield and then swing around and cut it down. But it is in that moment, as you're getting another arrow knocked, you hear the sound of, and then you feel yourself hit across only a few feet as you see Thessalus' own broadsword driven into his belly. You see the creature that just did that kind of holding his helmet, crushing it, denting it a bit with its hand, look over at you. Its head twisting in an unnatural way, along, almost like telescopic, as it then kind of just pushes Thessalus down the ground, the sword still in his gut, as it comes over to you. And we just see it come across, and you see Thessalus reaching towards you in this moment as the creature strikes down at Elanor. And that's where the vision brings you back.
I think Elanor, kind of similar to earlier, is doubled over, kind of gasping for air. And she kind of like stumbles a bit before finding a tree stump and just kind of like falls onto it a little bit before just looking up at them and just kind of like staring.
It seems two of you fought together. Well,
I don't know what to say, really. Thank you. I know, I'm sure for most of us that was fairly negative, everything that we went through, but it's good to know what we're still fighting for and fighting against, even if we can't remember.
yes.
And she like actually almost starts crying, and she just looks up at him and she says, I don't want to see, but they're alive. My family.
They are, Elanor. All of them.
She's gonna compose herself and without another word walk back to the group.
Okay. Arinthus doesn't follow. He just stands there, watching you walk away. And I think as you walk back, he scans the area for the one person he really didn't talk to. He looks for Hugo. And where would Hugo have walked off to after that conversation with Róisín?
Whew. I think Hugo, it's funny you should say that. I think Hugo walked back into I'm assuming like we're in like a little clearing or a little like outcropping. Everyone would have seen Hugo walk back in, and then if someone said, oh, hey, Hugo, or like, oh, where's Róisín? Hugo would have just kept walking out of outcropping, continuing like further in a different direction. Essentially just like opposite of where they were just also walking off. And Arinthus will find Hugo creating a track back and forth as they just pace, turn, pace, turn, muttering to themselves. And not to themselves, because Vera is out from under their hat. Hugo's just kind of like, I just don't understand. I didn't think that was going to be the way to do it. It didn't look like that was going to do that to Thessalus. It didn't seem that way. I thought it was going to be something a lot more violent, a lot more scary, a lot more teethy. No, I didn't really think.
There's a lot of teeth, though. I mean, it might have been. But it was kind of scary. Like, that was a side of him I haven't seen before.
Yes, exactly. It was terrifying. It was scary. And would it not be my fault if I haven't paid attention to it? If I haven't paid attention to the fact that he hasn't been feeding because I'm supposed to be in, or am I supposed to be? I heard him say something about the deal being ended. So is there no longer a deal? Do I no longer have to embarrass myself in front of everyone every morning to appease him? And what exactly? Why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening to me. I need to be worrying about other things instead of.
It's okay. I think the deal might be done. That's kind of how I interpreted it. maybe, I don't know, if you're feeling up for it later, maybe just check in with him. I think it's done, though. It says the deal's over. So I assume so. That's how it works, I think.
Right, of course.
Well, I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could do.
Oh, it's all right, Avera. You're perfect.
They wrap
You
their
don't have to
little
do anything.
They wrap their little wing. They like put it on like around the back of Hugo's neck.
No.
This little.
It's all right. Oh, something's coming.
Something? What do you mean by something?
Yeah.
And you see Arinthis.
Oh,
Hi there.
hello. Hello.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I checked in with you. I realized that I put a lot of stress on your group here. And are you all right?
I'm perfectly fine. How are you?
Better. I won't come any closer. I wasn't.
Sorry,
I've spoken. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not wary of you. I know what you are. You're the spirit of the forest. I remember reading.
Yes.
What you would do. It only seems natural, you coming back with Cordy and the whole explanation about the corruption, and it makes sense. I'm not afraid of you, if that. You just startled me.
No, I apologize. Well, I wanted to. Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm assuming you're asking if I want a memory.
Yes.
I think I've had plenty of memories today. Thank you very much. No thanks to you, which is not a bad thing. It's just I've been overwhelmed with a lot. But I appreciate you offering. And Hugo, I think, notices a big black dog. This is your friend?
Yes, this is Nyx. She's been with me for a long time.
Oh, she's beautiful. And Hugo kind of like walks up to her. And you said you described her coat as if being covered in starlight.
Yeah.
And can I use my Written in the Stars experience to potentially see something there, something that kind of clicks for Hugo?
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. This is going to be the first roll that I do today.
I know. It hasn't been a whole lot of rolls, yeah.
I know.
Sometimes that happens.
Oh, that's poopy. No. Yeah,
Okay.
I got a 4.
4 with fear
hope.
or hope? Oh, with hope. Okay, give yourself hope. Give yourself hope. Hey, hindsight.
Well, it's like 4 and then plus 2.
Okay, 6. Yeah.
6. Let me see something, because I have adept, but I don't think that's gonna do much. It's double your experience modifier for that roll. So it would be 4 plus 4, so 8.
Yeah, I think that's still probably.
That's still too low.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use it. That's fine.
Yeah. She kind of just pushes herself up against you just to offer, not realizing that Hugo can't feel, but to offer warmth. And Arinthis, as he sees you kind of looking at her fur, he would say, if you look closely, it's all about the way the wind moves through her hair. Sometimes you can see the constellations.
Oh. Really?
The whole night sky, actually. Before.
The very one before Ocularis.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I
She's. Oh, go
I
ahead.
think a part of myself is quite fond of constellations. I can't quite remember that part, but we've recently found information on some constellations, and it was like things came back to me. It was quite exciting. I wish I could understand what is happening right now with her.
Well, how about this, Hugo? If you will not let me give you a memory, let me share something with you. A knowledge I have of the stars. What they were once before. There was a time, a long time ago, where if you looked at the constellations the right way, and he's kind of looking up, even though he knows that these stars are staring back at him. He says, there were stories that if you were able to find where all of the constellations intersected, that you could pierce the veil to another world.
To the far away.
Yes?
Ah. We're trying to find more. Trying to find the constellations that would open a gate.
Well, I hope that as you seek them out, you do find them. I'd very much like to see the real stars again someday.
Yes. I think it'll be quite lovely.
Agreed. Well, I will give you your space, but I do hope that as you continue to journey forward, that you find more parts of yourself along the way.
I know I could ask you for some. It just... Do you take pleasure in that?
Providing memories?
Yes. Offering that service.
I do at times. I think that memories are our most precious thing you can collect. They are with us, hopefully forever. And being able to give back those that have lost them, or remind them of things that perhaps were in the deep recesses of their mind. It does bring me joy. It allows me to feel things.
What about you?
Me. My own memories?
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Would Orinthus... This is gonna sound crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Would Orinthus constitute I mean, maybe not, because they're standing right here and everything. But technically, he died recently.
Mm-hmm.
Would they potentially constitute as me being able to use my death connection?
Yeah, I'd let you do it. I'll bet. I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay.
That isn't gonna like insta kill them after, is it?
No, this is not. This is not. No.
Nyx is like, the dog just looks like,
She turned a corpse into dust one time.
One time.
Everyone's like, every time you talk to a corpse.
They dragged you for 15 minutes. Do it.
We're not concerned that you're talking to a corpse. We're concerned that you're going to turn it to dust. Oh, dog's talking to a corpse? Oh, yeah, that's fine. We just got to make sure that they don't turn it to dust. That's when you start getting concerned.
Hugo finishes the conversation and Thanos snaps.
This is
they are inevitable.
Death connection, which, as a reminder, while touching a corpse that died recently, you can mark a stress to extract one memory from the corpse related to a specific emotion or sensation of your choice.
Okay.
But Hugo likes to, and there goes the train.
Oh my god.
There goes the train. Give me a second. I think.
Listen, I'm just glad it's not me for once.
Yeah. The train tracks are literally behind my house. So
Yeah.
Oh,
right
okay.
there.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Trains.
Yeah. So Hugo likes to kind of flip the script on that and ask for what emotion Orinthus would want to feel.
I think he'd want to feel being the forest spirit is he's been lonely for a very long time. I think love.
May I touch you?
Yes.
Hugo approaches Orinthus and places their hand on Orinthus's cheek.
Mhm.
And there's that fungal connection immediately as that burlap touches the soft skin Orinthus's face. And I will mark that stress as they seek out a memory from Orinthus about love.
Okay.
It's that time Orinthus was on The Bachelor, and
A new bombshell enters the villa.
Oh my god, I love is Blind Fantasy Edition.
I think
So
earlier
good.
I was about to type in chat, but didn't. When Elanor said, "Can I steal Orinthus for a second?" I was like, "It's almost like The Bachelor. Can I steal you for a second?"
Yeah.
Can I see you privately? Can we have a talk in one of the rooms? Thanks.
Love. Yeah. I think we see in this memory, it is hundreds, centuries ago. Orinthus really hasn't aged very much, being the type of entity he is. But I think what we would see in this moment is a beautiful field of wildflowers that rests within this grove. And you would also see a gorgeous pond and a kind of central island residing on it. And sitting over on this island is a very large kind of one of these same dire wolves, and next to it would be a bunch of little puppies. And you would see Arinthis walk through the pond over to this little island where they all would be. And you would see the mother dire wolf look at him. And he would come over and give her a few caresses on the head. And he would sit down with the puppies. And they kind of jump around him. And I think we would see approaching from the other side of the pond another figure. Another kind of fey-like individual. Tall. A little bit more, I would say, stout in their build. And very angular face, a beard, a well-manicured beard, kind of dark, like a dark black beard, hair up, in like in a high bun, and they're wearing this kind of like golden robe that crosses over, kind of almost crosses from both sides, and they're holding a staff. And they walk over to Arinthis, and they start to pet the direwolf mother here. And you would see them kneel down to the ground next to Arinthis, kiss him on the cheek, and say, "Have you decided on which one you'd like to keep?" And Arinthis picks up this little puppy. He says, "I think this one. I'm gonna name her Nyx." And you see the two of them stand up. He's holding Nyx in his hand, and the other figure takes Arinthis by the face, and he says, "Would you stay the night?" And you see Arinthis looking deep in this other figure's eyes, and he just puts his head on the others. And you see this energy swirling around them as these two forest spirits that are in love have a moment of just being together. And I think that touch from Hugo flashed back to that memory. For Arinthis, you would see that, and I think you would come back to in this moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have found that for you.
I miss him.
What was his name?
Galantis.
Galantis. And Hugo drops their hand, and once again there's this moment where they're rubbing their fingers together. And similarly to when they felt the sensation of fingers running through the hair, this time they feel that sensation is more so inward. It's ephemeral, it's abstract, but it's a warmth. And there is a sort of selfishness that Hugo has in these moments where they can take those memories and, of course, bring some sort of
comfort to the people. They search through like a man in an archive, finding those things to provide a service to the people that they are helping. But the mixing of this memory, the frustration with what has happened barely 15, 20, half an hour ago in regards to Róisín, there's this sort of mix of additional confusing emotions. And they lower their gaze from staring at Orinthus. I should get back to my party.
Of course. And they would walk over towards Nyx. And I think they would they just walk deep into the Whispering Woods as Hugo heads back.
So they return they headed out?
Yeah, I think they
back
are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're gonna leave. Yeah.
And Hugo turns and goes back towards the group.
I think as you head back, before I go back to everybody else, Elanor, when you're walking back to the group, you hear something cawing like it's hurt. And you see, trapped in a little bit of bramble, you see this little crow, and it's stuck, and you see it like starting to kind of wrap around them as they're trying to break free in this moment. Their little talons stuck in there, and they just see you, and you see a desperation in this little bird's eyes as it looks towards you as you're walking back in this moment.
I think Elanor kind of stops as she like processes this noise before finding this sight, and she's gonna like almost immediately walk over and start trying to help it.
Yeah. As you kind of start to maneuver the bramble in a way, and you know how to, there's an instinctual thing that hits you of how to move with the bramble, and as you're able to help it, it's able to get free. It flies up a little bit and lands on a little branch, and then it kind of tilts its head at you. And
she's gonna tilt her head back at it.
And you see it hesitates for a moment, and then it flies down and just lands on your shoulder and just kind of tilts its head at you again. And
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it like a teeny tiny little like rub on the top of its head.
Does like the bird hop? It hops a little bit closer to you, and then kind of just pushes its little head against your head. Freens its like feathers kind of flare out a little bit as it caws. Lets a little caw.
Oh, she's just so happy right now. Like I think she's like this like genuine gleeful smile. Because I mean, you know, you take a ranger out of the woods, and it's like, what's their use, you know? And the lack of any animal life that they've really gotten to interact with, other than the boars and the hares, like this is. To her, this is everything. It's not just like, oh, I've made a friend, yay. It's like, I swear to God. Sorry, I'm reading chat. There's just like, to her, this animal signifies the hope that Cordy saw in the vision. Like if this little animal can survive in this horrible wood, now no longer horrible, but then that means that there's other animal life that can be saved. And to her, that's big, because yeah, you can bring people back, you can get rid of Ocularis, but none of that's going to matter if the wildlife isn't also saved. And so to her, this little crow, which to some people might be an omen of bad luck, to her is a huge sign of hope and good luck, as she just kind of like walks back and like gleefully just kind of like pets it.
Thanks for tuning in to The Last Arcanist. We return next week with episode 13 as a group rests and regroups in the Whispering Woods before continuing their journey to the Gloom Peak Sierras. But a new proposition is brought to the table by Róisín, a minor detour along the way. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes of The Last Arcanist, and thanks for watching.